Hi everybody, and welcome to GolfGym Studios. I'm Arlen Bento Jr. with Ken Pierce, owner and developer of the GolfGym.
Hi everybody.
And today we are continuing in our instructional DVDs for those of you at home that have been following us. This will be number 5.
This is 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on YouTube, so it's a transition. It goes from the way Arlen's been teaching all these years right through a progression. So this is number 5. If you haven't watched the first 4, I suggest you go back and check them out individually because it'll be a great workout for you.
And it's important that we have all of these posted that way because a lot of times with instruction, there's no way to go back and kind of work on something. And just for those of you at home that haven't seen any of these, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create movements and positions that are correct, so that if you learn to do them, your golf swing will just get better through muscle memory. You're going to learn how to move. So what we've been doing is we've been working on positions to get you from the start position to the top of the backswing, okay?
Exactly.
And we're going to just get right to the top of the backswing, okay? So we're going to put our feet close together, and we're going to widen equally to find our center of our stance. All right, and we're going to work from a setup position, which Ken looks great in, to halfway back. And I call this the small position right here. Then we're going to create the first hinge in the golf swing where the grip kind of points to the ball. I'm going to step out of the way here. We're going to work to the top of the swing and hold. That's really good. Nice stretch throughout here, Ken.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
All right. And today what we're going to learn is we're going to work how to transition from the top of the backswing into the downswing, which is critical in the golf swing. Okay? A lot of people don't know how to do this. All right. Okay, relax for a second.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to show you today is really critical because this will take away that feeling of having to hit down hard.
Okay.
I'm going to actually show you how to transition and slide your arms and everything will scrunch down into the downswing as you create impact, okay?
You know, I'm going to take back what I said earlier. Again, I'm experiencing this just as you would for the first time with Arlen. This will be effective no matter if you've watched the first 3 or not.
Yes.
This is definitely going to be effective.
This will be effective.
Okay, good.
Okay. Because no matter where you are on the top of your backswing or how you get there, if you don't get this position, it's going to be hard to hit the ball really solid.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to do this. Because this is all about the transition in the backswing, I'm going to have you do these exercises facing this direction.
Okay.
So Ken's going to line up. We're going to go through it one more time. So we're going to widen his feet. Good. We're going to work on his takeaway. Good. We're going to work on his first hinge. Good. We're going to work on the top. Oh, and stretch it there. Now this is the move that no one gets. Most people do this to start their downswing. That goes back to the kids hitting with a stick, hitting things on the ground.
Right.
Okay, what we want to learn is we want to go from this position. We want to let the club fall. It almost comes down, and you kind of want to feel like the grip is actually going to hit you in your thigh.
Wow, okay.
You want to feel like it pulls down and drives into that thigh.
Okay.
Now relax for a second.
Okay.
As you watch me do that, it makes no sense. Why would I take the back of my grip and shove it in my thigh?
Yeah.
That's because you haven't moved your weight yet.
Oh, okay.
Because the sensation of pulling down, trying to get the club to get closer into your thigh, as you start to move your legs, which clears your hips, which puts the club in the proper position to create impact.
We hear the term clear your hips all the time.
Right.
So is that what we're talking about?
That's
here?
what you're talking about.
Okay, so you're going to get to that?
Yes, I'm going to get to that. And I'm going to give you, I always like to throw in these little stories because people, when they learn, remember these things. And, and I'll tell you a great one. This is what, I got this from like the first pro that ever helped me with my game. And he told me a story about Byron Nelson, who had one of the great classic wonderful swings, won 11 tournaments, one of the greatest players of all time. Byron Nelson always said you could never play golf with change in your right pocket, because he would always try to hit his pocket in his downswing. Oh. So if you had change in your pocket, you'd hit your hands on your change.
Oh, wow.
Now he's a right-handed player, so the idea of getting from the top of the swing down, if you had a lot of change sitting in your pocket, your hands would hit that change. He said you should never have change in your pocket, so you could get your hands through. Okay? So that kind of ties into what we're working on today. Okay?
This is very different from anything that I've actually learned. I'm serious.
And you know, it might be different in the way I'm communicating it, but it's not different. I mean,
no, I shouldn't have said it that way. It's just making more sense is what it is.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I've been doing this a long time, and you know, I coach and I teach and I work with a lot of good players, and it's amazing to me how people don't understand this whole moving the club into, you hear things like the slot.
Right.
Or the idea of pulling down to start the downswing.
Sure.
People look at you cross-eyed.
Right.
What do you mean I have to pull down? I just want to hit the ball.
Right.
The problem is that instinct to hit is not right. So we're trying to break that habit a little bit. And we'll get into this a little bit as we get into other parts of our tip series.
Sure. And you know, actually, the PowerSwing Trainer in that pulling down factor is going to be could work into that as well.
I think we're going to be able to really use that well for this drill. I think that's probably one of the top 2 or 3 things that product can do.
Okay, good.
All right, so we're going to set up again, everybody. We're going to be in this position, and we're going to work on this one more time. I'm going to start his takeaway. And this is what I call this small swing. And I'll actually explain this a little bit later as we kind of get through this. Right there, and then we're going to create that first hinge, create that top, and then we're going to create this pulling sensation, trying to get the grip to pull down. And Ken should now, as he pulls, those hips should start to clear. That feel, that's all I'm looking for. This is the exercise.
Okay.
So we're going to go from the top of the swing, we're going to hit that thigh and hold right there. And this is the scrunch position that I talked a little bit about in, I think, the second or third exercise.
Third.
Right. So we're going to get scrunch. And scrunch means his shoulders down, his elbows tucked, everything kind of squeezes up before we get to impact. Okay? Now, I mentioned something a little bit, or a minute ago, about the sizes of the swing. And I've kind of mentioned it throughout the first 4 tips, but I want to tell you why I'm calling them small, medium, and large.
Okay.
Okay. And it goes back to something I learned a long time ago when it comes to controlling distance. And what I'm getting at is, I'll give you a simple idea here. If you have a wedge in your hand and you hit your wedge 100 yards, if you take a full swing and it goes 100 yards, that's your big swing. I want to know, what do you have to do to hit a shot 50 yards?
With the same club?
Same club.
Okay.
And what I've been teaching is the backswing has a position or size, and the size is small.
I see.
So for players that I train, if I take a club and I get to about this half-wasted position and I make my swing, I'll get 50 yards, or pretty close.
Okay.
When I start to hinge, it kind of creates what I call medium or 3/4. And that creates a shot that maybe goes 75 yards or so.
Okay.
So I mentioned that because as we do these tips, you'll hear me use my own terminology, my own vocabulary that I teach. But as we go through this, you'll see how everything will actually tie together to scoring and distance control and a lot of things that everybody has to work on.
Great.
All right.
Great.
So we'll do this one more time.
Okay.
Because I think it's so important. And the key piece is to remember there has to be this sense of pulling down. Let's get all the way to the top. Hold. He's going to pull down with the club and try to feel like he sticks the grip in his thigh. Club should be back here a little bit.
Okay.
Right in your thigh. And then he starts to clear his hips as he does that and get scrunched. And that'll work into our next position, which we'll talk about on our next series.
Wow.
All right?
That feels kind of weird coming right at my pocket.
It's different. It's not. It's different because a lot of people don't do it that way.
Sure. Okay.
So let's get the PowerSwing Trainer on and do that same exercise, and we can show you. For those of you that have the product, this is a great way to tie instruction into using the PowerSwing Trainer, which will give you more strength and more flexibility. This is a great exercise for this because it's going to pull the club down, or in this sense, the grip and the hands down, all the way to the top. And you're going to feel like it pulls down real close. You feel it different? Is that different?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and the way that the cords are, it actually holds your hands in that position and does pull. It actually does pull you.
And actually, that's why I said I think this is one of the best things about this product. It does give people the sensation of pulling down and then creating impact.
Wow.
Get it right to your thigh. Try to get closer. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
All right?
I've got to work on that.
It's something that we all should be working on.
Yeah.
And with a little practice, it actually starts to feel more natural. That's kind of the beauty of learning the positions of the swing.
Sure.
Mechanically, the more you do them, just like anything, you'll get better at it.
Yeah. So look for number 6.
Coming up soon.
Coming up soon, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Arlen.
Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Have a good one.
All GolfGym products are available at GolfGym.com. Follow us on Twitter @GolfGymFitness or like us on Facebook /GolfGym.fitness. Now you can play pain-free golf without a prescription, just like Nick Price, with easy-to-roll-on golf pain away. Available at GolfGym.com /GPA.